good, all you cyberpunks and retro nerds out there? It's your host, Tommy the Hammer, coming at you guys again with another obscure horror movie review. Tonight we're going to be checking out the South Korean horror flick, Cello. I remember seeing this sitting on the old shelf in the store way back in the day, but I've never watched it before, and I've been itching to check it out. You guys know this routine. Check out that motherfucking trailer. Peep that shit, guys, and when we get back, you're gonna know Tommy the Hammer's unfiltered opinion on Cello. So we've probably covered this point on my channel before, but whether or not you'll be into the movie Cello solely depends upon how you feel about movies like Ju-on or Ring-U. So if you're not into Asian supernatural horror movies from the 1990s and the early 2000s, then I feel like Cello is going to have very little for you in terms of an overall interest. For me, I gotta say, I'm a fan of movies like that. For some reason, I just love Asian horror movies from that era. But that begs the question, is the movie Cello any good? Yes and no. I gotta admit, I'm a little bit disappointed in this movie, and that's probably my fault. I remember seeing this on DVD at a local store called Coconuts. And if you guys don't know what Coconuts is, well, they became the store, or at least I think they did, FYE. And if you don't know what FYE is, let me break it down for you. These are entertainment stores that were in malls. And they were very important back in the 1990s and the early 2000s because you could go into a Coconuts or an FYE and find some obscure Asian horror movie like this. And I remember seeing this at a Coconuts and thinking, man, that cover is grim and it's captivating. Like, what the hell's going on? The overall story is interesting enough, and it's perfect fodder for a supernatural horror film. But the way it's executed is so mid-2000s, which is to say, slightly like a soap opera. And you know what, guys? With all the sophisticated artistry going on behind the camera lens and the overall set designs, it leaves the audience wanting in terms of a stronger execution to this maybe well-worn genre. The overall story kind of comes across like one of those old school EC comics from back in the 1950s or 60s, Tales from the Crypt, The Haunt of Fear, The Vault of Horror, things like that. And I love stories like that. I love Tales from the Crypt. But the way it's executed here, I don't know, it really kind of fell flat for me in some parts, but other elements to the movie were absolutely terrifying. Every single actor and actress definitely exhibits pure terror in these scenes. And there's one elephant in the room with this movie that I can't skip. It's the CGI. It looks bad. And sure, the director goes about it very subtly in this movie. I mean, there was definitely a lot of films in the 1990s that hammered the CGI over your head. And this movie doesn't do that, but the CGI that is used is very plain and apparent, and it really takes the viewer outside of the film because there's definitely potential here. There's great actors, great actresses, there's mood, atmosphere, there's gore, there's an intriguing story, there's an adult subject matter going on here, an adult sensibility that could be fully realized in capable hands. And unfortunately, this movie definitely comes up short in those regards. So guys, out of 10 stars. I think I could give the movie Cello. When I was watching it, I was wondering what I was going to give this movie, and it was kind of a herky-jerky affair. At one point, I ended up at 6.5, and I said to myself, you know, if it keeps on this track, in terms of interesting subject matter, I might end up in a 7 territory. Well, you know what? I fell out of a 7 territory, and as a matter of fact, I dialed it back a bit. I could only give the movie Cello a flat 6. It's not that great, and there's definitely better films from that era in terms of Asian supernatural themed horror movies. I hope I've been informative, guys. Until the next time, tune in to Neon Motherfucking Trash. Good night, folks.